सर, ईरान अमेरिका समझौता जो है वो दुनिया के लिए और जो तेल की आपूर्ति बाधित हुई थी, इससे जोड़कर देखें तो कितनी बड़ी खबर है।
बात यह है कि देखिए, हमारे देश में हम लोग बहुत अनुभव किए हैं और सिर्फ हमारे देश में, एशिया में तो बहुत, साउथ कोरिया में भी फैक्ट्रीज बंद हो रहे थे। तो इस हाल में जब समाधान आती है, शांति आती है, तो सबके लिए अच्छा है, दुनिया के लिए अच्छा है। मुझे कोई चिंता नहीं कि किसने लेके आया, किसने क्या किया। हमारी उम्मीद है कि इसके बाद हमारे ऑयल और गैस, हमारे फर्टिलाइजर जो चल रहा था, हमारे जो एल्यूमिनियम के सप्लाईज जो वहां से आते थे, नैफ्था वहां से आते थे, बहुत सारे सप्लाईज जो भी अटक का है, वहां फंस गए हैं, वो सब आ सकेंगे। तो ये सब आने के बाद मेरे ख्याल में इसकी बेनिफिट पूरा देश को मिल जाएगा, पूरा दुनिया को मिल जाएगा।
कांग्रेस ने क्रिटिसाइज किया है कि ये पाकिस्तान की इसमें बढ़त रही, जो ये समझौता हुआ है, ये भारत की विदेश नीति की विफलता है एक तरीके से।
देखिए, बात यह है, भारत की विकास नीति में इसका कोई रोल नहीं था, कोई लेना देना नहीं था। हमें शामिल नहीं किया, दूसरों ने जो कर सका। और मेरे ख्याल में हम तो एक समाधान स्नेहित राज्य देश है, हम उसको बिल्कुल हम समर्थन देने चाहिए।
Mr. Naidu is
Yeah.
getting so much of transaction.
Sure.
So could you please explain to our viewers what you want to say? Because he is saying that 50% will be the same.
If everything increased by 50%, it doesn't mean that it'll all be the same thing. As I said, if your salary is 2 lakhs and your driver's salary is 20,000, and you see we'll both get 50% more, and you get 3 lakhs and your driver gets 30,000, are you not that much more better off than him? Similarly, if UP has 80 MPs and Kerala has 20, and tomorrow UP has 120 MPs and Kerala has 30, is there not a difference? Isn't it common sense? Mathematics should also be applied with common sense. That's my first and most significant objection to the 50% argument. The second problem is a house of 850 is not a house where you'll get any meaningful work done. As it is with 543, many don't get a chance to speak, to raise questions, to raise 0 hour, to raise various concerns of their constituencies. With 850, and that too with a government that is progressively reducing the number of days Parliament meets. What is the 850 going to do? It's going to be like China, where the great leader comes in and everyone thumps their desks, so there's no real discussion. We need to think logically. Where do we stop? America has had 435 MPs since 1929, and their population has multiplied 3 times since then. No one says that let's have an 800-member House of Representatives. It makes no sense. No democracy has 850 people. It's crazy. It will not be a meaningful democracy. So that is my second objection. So what we need to do is, before we rush into all this 50% delimitation, is to have a grand national conversation. We need to say to each other, what are the principles at stake? They're saying one man, one vote, one value. Totally agreed. What is our counter principle? One state, one equal partner, one value. So you have to look at the rights of states. The EU had a similar issue. What do? They had a minimum floor for every state, however small, will get a certain size of MPs, certain number of MPs. And at the top, however big you are, you would have a maximum ceiling of MPs. You could not thereafter go ahead and get as many MPs as you like. So there is still a proportionate distance that should be maintained. Secondly, the total House. We are 28 states, Europe is 27 states, they have 600 or so, we've got 543. This is more or less reasonable. What we can do maybe is, if necessary, go up from 543 to 600 and then do some adjustments in the lines. But the argument that one MP cannot serve 3 million people or 2.5 million people, that is the wrong argument, because that's what MLAs are for. You cannot expect MPs to attend to every pothole in a road, every drinking water problem, every healthcare crisis. It has to be a clear division of labour between MLAs and MPs, and that also needs to be done. So there is a lot to be discussed. You don't just push a bill through like this because you get the votes or you can buy the loyalties of certain members of opposition. You've got to think this through. It's the nation's future at stake.
पीस डील नहीं हुआ है, इंटरिम एग्रीमेंट हुआ है। उस इंटरिम एग्रीमेंट की भी जो उसके पॉइंट्स हैं, जो उसके बिंदु हैं, वो अभी तक पूरी तरह से सार्वजनिक नहीं हुए। और राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप ये कह रहे हैं कि अगर वो इसके क्रियान्वयन से खुश नहीं हुए तो दोबारा बमबारी कर सकते हैं। तो इसलिए लोग जिसे अंग्रेज़ी में कहते हैं प्रीमेच्योरली सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं। एक बारी जो उस करार का मसौदा है वो सार्वजनिक हो जाए, उससे पता लगेगा कि किस चीज़ के ऊपर एक आम सहमति बनी है। क्योंकि हॉर्मूज़ की जो खाड़ी थी वो तो 27 फरवरी 2026 को खुली ही थी, और 109 या 110 दिन बाद, युद्ध के 109 और 110 दिन बाद अगर वो फिर खुल गई तो अमेरिका को भी इस बात को बड़ी गंभीरता से सोचना चाहिए कि इसराइल के साथ मिलकर ईरान पे आक्रमण करके उनको क्या